always forget to record these calls. So we're going to keep it kind of short tonight. I would love to hear from some of you guys towards the end when I talk about some month end stuff. But I want to share with you an update that we got today from Zach Bradley. Zach's the president of Zaya Active. We were on a call earlier this morning, midday with him, and he was giving us some updates about the FTC and a couple of the emails that you guys have seen and just probably some things that you've heard through the grapevine. So, well, let me start by saying my name is Leah. For those of you guys who don't know me, thank you for jumping on this call tonight. We have it every single Monday. Every Monday night, we usually have a different topic led by different people. This one's a little bit more boring towards the end. It'll get fun because we're going to talk about some of the month end stuff. This is a little bit kind of like boring black and white stuff, but it's important. So we jumped on a call. You guys probably saw in your inbox that there was an email about some of the FTC regulations and things happening. So the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, is one of the organizations that kind of watches certain companies both in network marketing and outside of network marketing, just to make sure that they're operating in a way that's like well behaved, basically. So what we've been seeing is there's probably over the past 4 weeks, the FTC has sent out warning letters to certain organizations within all different sectors of business, but specifically within network marketing. They have sent out a couple to some pretty big name companies, not Zaya, which is great because we tend to fly under the radar because we do things a little bit differently, but they're sending out letters, these warning letters, when they see posts and either the company or their reps sharing things that are enticing people to join using fear or false income claims, any sort of enticement. So what that means basically is like, if you guys, and we've all seen these kind of like MLM posts where somebody, one of the ones that got caught that they used as an example in this warning letter was, it was a healthcare company that said, try our products to boost your immunity system to keep you healthy from the coronavirus heebie-jeebies. Like, those are the things that people shouldn't be doing in general, but those are the sorts of things that the FTC is watching pretty intensely right now. Or things like, hey, you may have lost an income due to the pandemic. Join my team today and we can get that income back in the first 30 days. Anything that makes an income claim or is kind of encouraging people to join out of fear, anything like that is what they're watching for. So I don't necessarily think, and I don't think we should probably be doing those posts anyways. I don't think it's great business practice just in general. But one of the things that we're doing at Zaya that we've been encouraged by Zach and the leadership team to kind of just keep an eye on right now is posting anything that has specific numbers in it. So we don't, and Zaya was the first to admit, hey, we put this bonus out this month called a stimulus bonus. We probably, in hindsight, shouldn't have done that. So we're not going to use the word stimulus bonus anymore. The bonus is still there, still getting paid out. I don't know if they're going to do it again next month or not. It'll probably just have a different name going forward. But those are some of the things that we're trying to watch. So we don't want to post things like, I earned a $750 stimulus bonus this month, or this team did $30,000 in sales this month, or, you know, I had a new team member join who earned $500 in their first week. You should do this too. Really anything that has to do with numbers. So we can still do a lot of celebratory posts of, hey, I joined this amazing company. It's an incredible opportunity. I had so much fun and success in my first month. Those kinds of things are totally fine, just more general celebrations. So even in our team page going forward, I'm not going to go back and delete anything that I have celebrated particular to like numbers, but going forward for the next couple of weeks until things settle down, I'm probably not going to be sharing any specific numbers that myself or the team or people on my team hit. I'm still going to celebrate the heck out of people because I think we have to be celebrating right now because this is like the most insane month that Zaya has ever had. I think we just have to be a little bit careful about numbers. So I'm going to probably be posting things like congratulations to Brandy on an incredible month, so many massive goals achieved, like way to go, stuff like that. That's a little bit more general. So I am sure you guys have questions on that. So go ahead and put them in the comments, and I'll try to filter a few as we go through here, and I can kind of see them. That they've earned their investment back. I think that's okay. Again, because we're not talking about numbers. Once this blows over, like, I'm going to be the first one to go back to celebrating numbers, like especially in our team page. But I would just use common sense. Like, I wouldn't put a ton of energy into it. I think everybody here is pretty intelligent when it comes to like sharing that kind of stuff. Private conversations. I had someone message me today and say, hey, I was having a text message conversation and somebody's interested in joining, and they asked me, hey, is this company actually profitable? Like, can I be profitable? In that case, if it's a one-on-one conversation and it's offline, I think that's totally fine to share what's happened to you, right? Because as a, as somebody joining a company, if I had that question and the rep was like, yeah, it's really profitable, but I'm not going to give you details, like, that would be a red flag to me. So I think if it's one-on-one via text message or the phone, if you feel like it's the right situation and the conversation's kind of going there, I think that's totally fine. Again, just use common sense. Hostess rewards, totally. Hostess rewards, I think, is a very black and white thing. We know you can go on the website and see this was the retail value, and through this party they earned this amount of credits, and this is what they paid. So I think those graphics that show retail value versus what my customer actually paid using their hostess credits, I think that's fine. Anything to do with income, I would just absolutely stay clear of like income, dollar amounts for bonus. I wouldn't use the word stimulus, coronavirus, pandemic, like replacement income, anything like that. I probably just wouldn't do. If you guys have questions, ask your sponsor, or you can ask me, what about claims such as Zaya helps cover the cost of my car payment, mortgage? Yeah, like, and again, you're going to hear some leaders who say like, no way, don't do that. But I think as long as you're not putting numbers out there, it's fine. Just don't use specific numbers. So, and this is public and private right now. So I wouldn't even, like, on if you've got a private team page or you're part of a private team page and you want to celebrate people, I still probably wouldn't even use dollar amounts in there. Again, I would definitely post celebratory things. I just wouldn't do for the next couple of weeks until this kind of blows over. And again, Zaya's being extra cautious. Zaya's, what you probably notice, and one thing you probably like about this company, at least a lot of the feedback that I hear, is there's not a lot of like plastering on Facebook walls of like, come earn $750 a week. Like, this is, how there's kind of those MLM spammy posts that you see all the time. I think Zaya runs this a little bit differently, and that's why we're kind of able to fly under the radar. So I think we've got a culture to kind of maintain there too. And yes, we do set the bar high. Exactly, Erin. Like, we do want to be careful. We do want to be professional. We want to be classy about this. And like, one of the things that Zach said today is the amount of revenue that we do, like, compared to some of these big companies, people would be shocked at like what the strides that Zaya is making and how big, like, of strides we're making. We're just not like real spammy about it. And that's a really good thing, especially when the FTC is watching companies all across the board right now. So mid-month team PV updates, sending to our team members. Yeah, for sure. If you're sharing directly, Brandy, like if it's a text message to be like, hey, you're at $800 PV and $1,000 PV gets you the 8% bonus. If you're talking one-on-one and you're trying to coach reps and help reps understand those things, absolutely. And that's a great point. I think I would probably go a little bit heavy on that right now. A lot of that one-on-one conversation of remembering, hey, this is where you're at. This, the $1,000 is going to get you that extra 8% commission, or hey, you're almost at that $750 bonus. Do you have any questions on how to make that happen? Because we probably won't be posting a ton about it in our pages. So it's not a big deal. I wouldn't put a ton of effort or thought or concern into it. Just proceed with caution, business per usual. Don't share a lot of numbers. And if you are going to share numbers, just do it offline. But if you guys have questions, please ask them. But other than that, I wouldn't put a ton of energy into it. Just, again, proceed with caution and be smart about it. So if you have questions, put them over there because I know it's still kind of a tricky thing. But that was the update on the FTC today. That's pretty much all that we talked about. Just don't use the pandemic or the coronavirus in any way to try to make things happen in your business. And then the only other thing I'll say with that is one thing that we do have like across the board all the time, like 24/7 with Zaya, we do have a pretty strict policy that you can't incentivize the enrollment kit. So that means you can never post in a group like join today for $50 off the kit, or enroll, join my team, which isn't one of my favorite sayings, become a business partner today with Zaya and get a $50 gift card from me. Like anything that's incentivizing the enrollment kit, we cannot do. So stay away from incentivizing the enrollment kit. That's like a 24/7 pretty basic rule that Zaya has. So that's one thing that I would keep in mind. Yeah, Shauna, I can't see you on here, but feel free to pop in if there's anything I missed. But the call about promos, incentivizing enrollments. Yeah, so we can't, I don't know if I missed anything about promos, Shauna, that you put in there. I don't recall that, but yeah, incentivizing enrollments is a no-go. And that's always a no-go, which is just
about,
oh, there
sorry,
you go.
Leah, just with the, like, if you guys are doing a sale in like your VIP group and you're offering like $10 off a pair of joggers, you can't post that like on your Instagram stories or on Instagram, like posting or like on your public profile. You can only do like discounts and promos in a private group setting. So just kind of watch that, because I'll see like a lot on Insta stories where, like you're saying like, oh, free shipping today. We're not supposed to be doing that publicly. So sometimes like I'll kind of like share my VIP group and I'll say like, come check out my VIP groups, like see what I have going on. So that way, like I'm not like saying what's happening, but I'm guiding people over to that group in case they missed it in there. So just don't publicly like share that you're discounting or $10 off or free shipping or 20%. Like we can't do any of that either.
Yes. That is a great point. That's all like your private VIP page. Keep that all to like your private VIP page space. And here's the thing, like, again, don't be overwhelmed by it. If you're a little bit newer and you're like, what does this all mean? Did I do something wrong? Like, you're fine. Like, just take what you learned tonight, apply it to your business. And if you have specific questions about it, just ask. But I mean, you're not going to get like kicked out of the business if you're kind of learning as you go here. So that is a really good point, though. I think in parties, yes, you can in parties, as long as you're in a private group, you can offer it in there. Okay, so again, if you guys put any questions that you have about that in the chat, and then I'm going to talk real quick about month end. So month end, we have a thing that we call month end magic. More sales, more like rank advancement, hitting promos, all these amazing things. In the last week, the last couple days of the month, you guys are going to be like, holy smokes, what happens to Zaya in the last couple days, last week of the month, because it is wild. So if you guys, when we talk about month end magic, usually what we're saying is if you have a goal and you're shooting for a goal, there's so many things that you can do to make that happen. Towards the end of the month, there's a couple of things that I always like to keep in mind. I love to use, first of all, when the month is ending, there's a couple of things that we should always keep on the forefront, and that's knowing our numbers. So a lot of you guys know this, but there's a couple key numbers in Zaya. They're $200, $600, and $1,000. $200 is going to make you qualify for commission. So in order to qualify for your commissions, you have to hit $200 PV. That can be through anything that you sell, anything you buy, anything that you buy with your rep discount, that all goes towards that PV. All of these numbers, again, to be very clear, all of these numbers is 200, 600, and 1,000. These are based on your QV, your qualified volume number in your back office, not your commissionable volume, okay? So none of these numbers are based on CV. All of these numbers that Shauna is typing out for us are based on your QV, your qualified volume in your back office. And if you have any questions on where to find that, ask your sponsor or one of us. So $200, $600, $1,000, $600 waives your website fee. The first 2 months of the business, that website fee is automatically waived as you're up and getting your business started. After that, it's $15 a month. Any rep who sells $600 or hits that $600 PV mark in their business or above in a month, the website fee is waived. So I've never paid it since I've started. Most active reps, if you're active in the business, usually are not paying it because you're hitting that 600 PV. So 600 PV waives the website fee. And once somebody sells $1,000 or hits $1,000 in PV, that's going to get you the extra 8% commission. So watch those numbers, because if you're at like $950, it makes sense, like if you've got the cash available, but it makes sense for you to purchase something for $50 to get you to $1,000, because when you hit that $1,000, you make an extra 8%, which is an extra $80 in your pocket. So just kind of keep track of those things. If you have team members, especially if they're newer in the business, go ahead and look in your back office and look for some of those key numbers, okay, the 200, 600, 1,000. As you rank up in Zaya, that $200, like if let's say you're a director, for example, director, to get paid at the director level and to make those certain commission amounts on each level in your team, it's $500 in personal volume. So just go ahead and take a peek in your back office. Otherwise, on your shopping link, if you click join, you can go ahead and see all of that information there too, okay? On our team page, and I know there's other team pages in here, there are videos about all of that stuff that simplifies it. So if you have questions, make sure that you look into it. But those are some of the key numbers. The $1,000, Heather, is qualified volume, which is also personal volume. I think that number. So when you guys look at your back office, you're gonna see here. Let me pull mine up on my phone actually, and I can show you guys what that number is and exactly what you should be looking at. Hold on a second here. All right, let me log in. Okay, so I don't want to share too much here, but okay, you can see I still have work to do, so this is me being vulnerable, but you can see this qualified personal volume number where it says qualified personal volume, that 1,023 or 32, whatever it is. Do you guys see that? Qualified personal volume, that's what you always want to look at when you're looking at those numbers. If that makes sense. Okay, good. So keep those numbers in somewhere where you can always see them. If you are looking at rank advancing, I'm always surprised. I think in the beginning, I didn't, there's so much information coming at you, but know what it takes to rank advance too. If you're a rep and you've, got somebody doing this business with you and you're looking to rank advance to junior rep, make sure you're looking at those numbers and you know what it means. Like junior rep, for example, is $600 in PV for lifetime. So your entire volume throughout your whole Zaya career is $600. It's $600. I think, am I right on this? I don't even know now that I'm saying it out loud. It's $600. Hold on, I have the sheets. Okay, here, we'll do this one. So senior rep, if you're trying to hit senior rep, and we have these trackers on our team page. If you guys want them, you should go look for them in the team page, but they're really helpful. Personal volume is $300. Lifetime is $3,000. First level combined is $1,200. Total group volume is $2,000. That's going to get you to senior rep. Okay, so just make sure that you're aware of those numbers and that the people on your team who are doing this with you are also aware of those numbers. And all should be well there. Okay, also at the end of the month, and then I'll let anybody pop in who has anything they want to share about month and what they do at the end of the month. But I always use the end of the month to do two things. I look at the goals that I set in the beginning of the month and I say, okay, where am I right now? Like, where am I at versus where I wanted to be? And if I'm further, like if my PV, if my goal is $2,000 and I'm not there, like what can I do differently next month to make that happen? Or if I surpassed it, like I just kind of use it as a check mark. In the beginning of the month, I'm always setting these goals. So at the end of the month, I'm not surprised. I can say, okay, where did I fall and what can I adjust in my business to either hit these goals next month or maybe make them more reasonable or maybe make them a little bit higher depending on how the month went. So I'm always doing that. I also think the end of the month is a really, really amazing time to make sure, A, that you followed up with all your customers for the month, kind of wrap things up. And I think it's a great time to close. So if you've been talking to somebody about the business and it's kind of back and forth and they're not really sure, this is a really, because everybody always says like, well, how do I reach out to somebody or how do I know to reach back out to them if they said they're going to think about it and there's kind of this awkward space. I always use this time to reach out and say, hey, Shauna, I know we were talking about the Zaya opportunity. If this is something that you're interested in, this is a great time to enroll because the first of the month is coming up. May 1st is coming up, and we can get you kind of in these last few days of the month just kind of used to like the team page and we can kind of get things organized. And then on May 1st, you can hit the ground running. I always use that as an opportunity to have those conversations because I think it's kind of an easy way to open the door. And I think it's really nice for people to kind of get organized at the end of the month if they're a new rep, and then really on the 1st of the month, get their business up and running. So they can take this last week to get any like their launch party on the books, to get anything organized like in terms of their business, to get their starter kit ordered so that it can ship to them and be there. But I always think it's a really unique time to reach out to people about the business. It's an easy opportunity to say, hey, this is a really great time. Like if you're still thinking about it, it might be a great time to do it. Booking your calendar for the next month, when there's a week left in the month, I'm usually thinking, okay, what do I have for May? What does my May look like? Do I feel good about it? Can I use these last couple days of April to add 1 or 2 more events so I hit my 4, 1 per week? I think it's a great time to do that, to reach out to someone and say, hey, Michelle, I have 1 opening left in the month of May for a Zaya pop-up. It's a 2 to 3 online day event that I run. It's a virtual event. I know you love your joggers, so you popped in my mind. I'd love to do this with you and get you some half off items and credits towards your next purchase. Would you like the date? Or like, would you like that date before I post it publicly in my group page? So I think it's just a really like comfortable way to have a conversation with somebody and kind of lead into those conversations. So that's kind of what my month end looks like. Shauna, or does anybody else on here have anything else to add in terms of end of month and things that you like to do to keep yourself organized? Well, let me see. How soon is too soon to ask people to join? I feel like I just started, so how can I help someone? How long before you started adding people? Everybody's very different. I started right away. And I think that's a great question, Sadie, because a lot of people have that same question, like, I haven't done this yet. I just started. I don't have a track record. I don't have anything to say that happened in my first month. So in my first like 5, 6 days of the business, I think I added 2 or 3 business partners, and they were some of the easiest conversations that I had. When I started, I wrote down a list of 10 to 15 people who I really wanted to do this business with, like who I wanted to travel with, who I wanted to rank advance with, who I wanted to like mastermind with and lead calls with. And I wrote a list of these people down and I reached out to them, not like through Facebook Messenger, not through a post. It was either a text or a phone call. And I said, hey, Sam, I just joined this new company. It's an activewear company, and I heard about it from my best friends who's having a lot of success with it. All I know is that they're growing like crazy. I love the product. I actually enrolled before I got my first product, but I love the product that I've got so far. It's a market disruptor. It's the only activewear company in the market right now. And I'm really excited about it. I don't have all the answers, but I know people who have been doing this, who have had a lot of success. So I kind of went that route. And a lot of those people I had a personal relationship with. So some of the conversation was like that. And some of it was like, hey, Sam, I'm doing this thing. I really believe I'm going to have a ton of success with it. I'd love to do it with you. Here's some of the details. Do you want to link arms and go to the top with this thing? So that was a lot of my initial conversations. hey, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I want you to do it with me now. That that is also a very good approach if you are comfortable coming from the girl with a busted up face right now. uh, for real though, I think those conversations in the beginning, and this is a good question. I'm glad you asked it, because so often when you start a new opportunity, everybody's like, well, what's the language? And they think it has to be like, hey, Shauna, my name is Leah with Zaya Active. I'm a rep for a brand new activewear company, and I would love to tell you more about it. I think you would be a great fit. Can I send you the link? I am not saying there's anything wrong with that language. I did that. I did a lot of that in the beginning. But I think there's a lot of power in reaching out to those people on your list who you have a relationship with and saying, hey, listen, I don't know all the details. All I know is that this is one of the fastest growing companies in network marketing right now. They grew over 150% in the month of April, like during the middle of a pandemic. We're not supposed to say that. We're not supposed to say pandemic. And I have really big goals with it. And I think we'd have a ton of fun doing it together. Again, I don't have all the answers, but I know there's a ton of resources. Like, just a very open and honest conversation. It doesn't have to be scripted. It doesn't have to be like using all the right words. People just want you to be honest about it. And the more that you come across honest and genuine, the more that people are going to be receptive of the information that you have. Totally share how you're feeling and why you want them to partner with you. It is genuine. It does feel good. You can be a total creep on Instagram and reach out to a stranger like Leah did with me. So yeah, here's the other thing. I had a list of 10 to 15 people where I reached out and I said, hey, I literally want to be business partners. I want to do this together. Like, I want to link arms and do this with you. I know I sound crazy, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That's what Ellie said to me, and it worked. I also cold messaged people. Like, I knew when I started this, like, I had no doubt that I wanted this to work, and that I knew there was a huge possibility in the next 5 to 10 years for this company to be massive. And like, we have not even hit that point yet. So I kind of did all of it. I did the dream team list of people that I knew that I wanted to reach out to. I did the cold messages where I sent 10 messages in the morning before I got out of bed and 10 messages at night before I fell asleep. I did that every day. I did a little bit every single day, and it worked out well. But yeah, you can definitely send cold messages too. And Erin, I think my message to Erin was actually, I don't know if it was about enrolling or hosting an event, but either way, like 6 or 7 months later, Erin was like, I think I want to hear about this opportunity. So it's another thing to keep in mind. Like, on your dream team list, you might have people that say yes in the first couple of days, but if you guys are planting those seeds every single day, you're going to have people that come back 4, 6, 10, a year and a half later and be like, hey, tell me about what you're doing. So that's why we talk about consistent, like being consistent and doing the little things every day. Sadie's sending cold messages now. All right, so that, I know this is a pretty basic call, you guys, but I wanted to get you that FTC information. I wanted to talk a little bit about end of month, know what those numbers are. We'll post them in the team pages. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to share? Otherwise, we try to keep this to 30 minutes, so I don't want to keep anybody too long. Can I elaborate on cold calling? You know, it's kind of a shot in the dark. Really cold calling, what I did in the beginning, Jana, was I just went on to Instagram and I searched hashtags. I didn't like do hashtag activewear or opportunity or income. I did what was very relevant in my life. And at that point, I think I did like teething, like hashtag late night nursing, because I was nursing as I was doing a lot of those cold messages throughout the night. But one thing to understand about cold messaging and the cold markets versus the warm markets is that in your warm market, it takes a lot less going into the funnel to have results than it does for cold messaging. So some people get burnt out by it. You're going to have to kind of find out what you enjoy and like what you feel comfortable with in your business and what makes sense. Chrissy Tager, so Chrissy is the very top rank in Zaya. Her entire business was built on cold messaging. Somebody like myself, I did some cold messaging, but the majority of my business was based on either people I knew, and actually the majority of people who became business partners with me in this were people that came from Facebook parties. So having those parties, sharing a little bit about the opportunity, having high energy, having fun when I was in those events, that's where a lot of people ended up joining. And you know, when you're in those events, you can say, hey, this has been such an awesome event. Your market's really excited about this product. I know this is kind of out there, but have you ever considered doing something like this? Anytime I have a host who has a good event, I share that because they could be making the commission instead of me. Their market loves it. They're doing a great job as a host. So I think there's a lot of easy ways to have conversations, but you've just got to figure out what feels good for you, because if it doesn't feel good, you're going to get burnt out. And this business is a ton of fun. It's meant to be a ton of fun. And as you kind of navigate, as you're going through it, you're going to figure out what feels good and what doesn't feel good. And if you come across genuine doing what you love, that's where you're going to have success. So Chrissy's story might not resonate with you. My story might not resonate with you, but you're going to kind of figure it out as long as you're putting the effort forth a little bit every single day. So, sorry, Dana, that's all that I got on cold calling. There is a lot of resources though in the team pages. I think there's some graphics that give examples for cold messaging language if you want to check those out. And yeah, Shauna, who just did Doubles Eye Executive, I'm always scared. I just do it anyways. And that is 100% accurate. So the more you do it, the more you're going to feel comfortable with it. Every no is closer to a yes. And honestly, you guys, just ride the wave right now. This is so much fun. Like if you're new, don't be overwhelmed. Just take it for what it is this first month or next month. Kind of find a groove, and you'll figure it out. You'll figure out what works in your business, what you like about your business, and that's going to end up causing your success. So anything else, guys, before we hop off here? No? Okay. Have an awesome night. If you guys need anything, please let your sponsor or somebody know and we will get back to you. Otherwise, have a really fun end of month. You guys keep watching what's going on because it's the 27th and people at this point sometimes are like, oh, it's the end of the month. I'm already thinking of May. I am telling you what's going to happen in the next 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this month is incredible. And it's so much fun. So have a blast with it. And I will see you guys next week, Monday. Bye, guys.